Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I know I was supposed to be up here a long time ago, but let me explain. Let me explain. Before y'all come for me, let me explain. So, hi, welcome back to another episode. I look crazy right now, but this is where my life is, okay? We being fully transparent up in here because this is where my life is right now. So, the trip to Chicago was amazing. It was great. It definitely had its downsides, like the homeless people and the constant like it was just a lot of little weird things that kind of put me on edge, that I felt like I constantly had to have my head on a swivel, which kind of took away from my trip, because I was new to the city. And now that I know how things kind of work and like the do's and don'ts, I will definitely go back because I feel like I didn't get to experience it to its full potential. But I did enjoy myself and it was an amazing trip. Excuse me. And that trip made me realize that I've been a complete mess. I had a lot of time to walk around. So like when I went to DC, I walked around. I don't take Ubers. I either rent a bike or a scooter, whatever. I walk around because those times give me time to think and really like I'm someone big that like I like to analyze things and reevaluate myself. Like I just love those moments of like thinking and taking time to do that. And Chicago made me realize that what I've been feeling and what I've been saying is really what I need. So when I was like, I'm going to resign from my job, it's like, oh, you're going to have all this time, blah, blah. Too much time is I just can't. It doesn't work for me. I fall apart without structure. I fall apart without a schedule. I do not thrive in those areas. I don't thrive in the area of like, oh, I have all this free time. Let me just kind of do what I want. Like I need to have things solidify. I need to have things like set goals in order for me to thrive. And that's just me as a person. So for example, if I'm running, I could run. That's cool, whatever. But I'm not going to be dedicated to it if I'm not like, okay, I want to run a marathon. I want to run to do this. Like I need to have goals set in place in order for me to thrive. And that's just how I work. And when I don't have that, I fall apart. And I've been falling apart. Your girl has absolutely, positively been falling apart because I don't have all this time in my hand because I still do my field work and I still go to school, my son, etc. Like worship and church. So I still kind of have like this schedule built in, but on the back end of it is like there's so much that God has put in my heart and so much that God has put has given me for me to kind of just work off of that. Because I've been having all this time, because even though I have school and stuff, I still have most of my days where I kind of can just like have 3, 4, 5 hours of nothing. And when I don't have anything planned, when I don't have those set schedules, like before I used to work, go straight to school, blah, blah, like, and although I felt like this is a lot, when I was working and going to school, I was still working my balloon business. I was still going to the gym, like, because I had that schedule, because I had that structure. And I know it might sound crazy to people like, girl, why you want a full schedule for? I don't need a full schedule, but I need a schedule. I need structure. That's what I need to thrive. And because I haven't had that lately, although things have been going great, I've been a mess. An absolute mess. And there are so many things that I want to do that I haven't done because I'm just feeling like I'm all over the place. And the thing is that when God has calling for you and God has purpose and, God puts a vision in your heart, the enemy starts plotting. Okay. He starts plotting against you like right away, because he knows that whatever it is that God has given you, if you step into that purpose and you really run with it, it's going to be something that he's just not going to know what to do with himself if that was to happen. So that laziness comes in like, oh, I could sleep. I got tomorrow. I got time tomorrow. I got this. I got that. Like I have time to do it later. Like, no, today, right now. Right now is the time to do it. And it's not that you want to speed things up, because whether it happens in 3 days or in 3 years, whatever God has put in your hand, as long as you're working towards it, is going to come into fruition. It's going to happen, especially if you make sure to center it all in Him all the time. So anything that I do and anything that I'm working on, I want God to be the center. I want Him to tell me who to work with, who not to work with. Excuse me. Excuse me again. I want Him to tell me, like, don't do this or don't do that. Like, that's just where I want to be. But because lately I just been all over the place. Yeah, I haven't got that Chicago video. I haven't edited any of those videos. I have been more active on TikTok because, it's easier to just to throw out these like 30-second videos or whatever than to sit in front of a camera and kind of do this. I have been a little busy with my schedule with trying to get things done, but I'm sitting here in my room today because Mondays and Fridays are usually my like low key days. Those are the days that I really don't have much to do, but I run my errands and things like that. But I'm sitting here and I'm working on these slides and I'm working on something, and I'm like, once I sit down and I really start like, writing things down and this is what I want to do and blah, blah, like those times are where I start thinking like, girl, you've been a mess all this time. You've been a mess because you trying to do this and that and this, and you're trying to get all these things done, but you're not you're not giving yourself a schedule. You're not writing things down. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I saw the post that I just posted on my Instagram, and it was like, when God gives you a vision, write it down, pray over it, and then be patient. Like, take action and be patient. God has given me visions. God has put things in my hands. One, I have not been writing them down. I have not been writing them down. I have my calendar back there and there's some dates, but I haven't been using that. Like, I just haven't been my best self because I don't have structure. And because I don't have structure and I've been feeling like I'm a square in a circle, it's been very hard for me to get on YouTube and make videos. It's been hard for me to do these things. And like I said, I'm more active on TikTok because it's easier to just record videos here and there and just throw them out than actually do something like this, where I sit and talk to my camera the whole time, or, where I sit and work on these projects and things like that. I feel like every time I sit and start working on something, it's like, oh, but I have to clean my room and I have to do this or I have to do that. And I realized that is just how the enemy works. That's just how he works. And just yesterday, like last night, I was on my way home from school and I'm thinking about all these things like, yo, I've been a mess. Like, I have not really been as productive as I want to be. I have not been doing and working towards the things that God has put in my hands. Like, and I got real emotional and, I was like waiting for parking and I'm scrolling on TikTok and the first video that pops up was someone talking about just that. When God gives you a vision, the enemy is automatically plotting against you because he wants you to stay in the place that you're at. He doesn't want you to grow. He doesn't want you to move anywhere else. And the feelings that I've been feeling of feeling like a square in a circle and feeling like I just been so out of place and feeling all these things that I've been going through is because in order for God to elevate you, he has to break you down. He has to isolate you. And if you know me, I'm a huge extrovert. I love people. I love, hanging out with my friends. Like, I love those things. And lately, I just been leaning into my introvert. Like, I've been so confused as to what's been going on because I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to talk to anybody. And talking about that, let me address this real quick. Just a little bit off topic. One, the fact that people thought I went to Chicago for a man is absolutely insane, and y'all all need to be in jail. Because the fact that y'all thought I will book a flight, book a hotel, pack my bags, and head to another state that I'd never been to meet a man, it's absolutely insane. Like, y'all obviously are out your minds. The other thing is the fact that people thought that my solo trip was like me crying for help or like feeling sad or depressed or blah, blah. Like, no. I needed time to myself, and I knew that this summer was a lot because I was working so much that I wanted time to myself. And I'm so glad I took that time to myself because that's what got me here. So now I am working on getting myself together and having a schedule and putting structures in place because I had that time. And honestly, if I didn't have that time of clarity and those times of like constant, I was walking a lot. Like I was having like 23,000 steps a day. So I was walking a lot, and in those times I was able to think. So my solo trips, I love. I just started them, but I was going on solo dates. I've been going on solo dates for a while. I like to go out by myself because I get time to reflect on things like this and start writing things down. So one of the things I wrote down is, you suck when you don't have a schedule. You suck when you don't have structure. Like, these are things that you have to know about yourself. These are things that you have to really sit and evaluate about you. Like, what is it that you need in order for the things that God has put in your heart to start working? What is it that you need to wake up every day and feel okay? I have not been sleeping. I've been having insomnia because I've been just, my head has just been going, like, which is why I look like this right now, because my mind has just been going. So, like I said, back to my conversation, as I was sitting here and I'm like, really writing things down and like, okay, this is what I have to do. This is where I'm going. This is all these things I felt like sharing, because if you are feeling overwhelmed or out of place, or like you have no direction, take time to be still. God will always speak to you. God will always check you. Okay. He will always check you. Because it's like, Ange, you want to do all these things and you have these goals, but you are not doing anything that's really like making sure that those roots are deep in order for you to bring these things out. And, he really, really checked me, because I was like, all these things that you have, and things are all good, but there's no foundation there. And I realized that, yes, I am really trusting in God, and I know that he has plans, and I know because he has been putting things in place. And one day I will give my testimony, my another testimony on how God has been working in my life. But I think I got into a place where I was just like, well, God said that he's gonna get me this, so we just gonna run with it. But it's like, no, God will give you something, but you have to work towards it. You have to plan it. You have to take action in order for those things to come into fruition. You don't just wait around for God to just make things happen. And although I've been taking small steps towards those things lately, I've been very much putting things aside. Like, I'll do it later. I have enough time, blah, blah. And now we're in October and I'm like, girl, time is catching up to you. Okay, time is catching up to you, and you're playing yourself. So again, I just came up here to say all that, to yap and tell y'all why I haven't posted about Chicago and my trip and all these things. But to tell y'all, like, wherever you at in your life right now, whatever season you're in, even if it's a season of like you're thriving, make sure that you take time to stop. And you know what your goals are. You have clarity on that. You are checking in with yourself. You are checking in with God, of course, 1,000%. You are taking care of yourself mentally and realizing, like, I've been doing all of this. What is the intentions behind all of this? So everything I've been doing was kind of to keep myself busy. And although it has been working in my favor, I've done trainings, I've done certification. I know how to, I just finished a certification on teaching kids how to read, which I thought I knew how to do, but obviously I didn't. And all those things are going to help me with, my end goal and what I want to do and what I'm working towards. But it's like, you're doing all of these things, but you don't have anything structured. You don't have anything written. You don't have anything planned out. So those things that God put in your heart, plan them out. Trust in them. Plant that seed and start watering that seed. Don't just plant the seed and wait like, all right, God, the seed is planted. Like, no, go get that water. Go make sure that soil is fertile. Like, you have to do those things. And you also have to sit still and really reevaluate, like I just said, where are you mentally? Are you okay mentally to keep doing these things? Like, what is it that you need in order for these things to come into fruition? And I don't know why I felt like sharing all of that, but I felt like sharing all of that. Don't stop leaving for everything for tomorrow. Oh, I could do it tomorrow. I could do it later. I have time. We don't have time. We don't know how much time we have. And that's really the end all be all. Like, we don't know how much time we have. And it's like, you either gonna step into what God has given you, or it's gonna be given to somebody else. Go read the book of Matthew. Okay? I'll put the verse that I'm talking about down below so y'all can read it. Go read the book of Matthew. Like, if God puts something in your hand and you are a mess and you not doing what it is that he has put in your heart and in your hands, baby, he needs this to happen anyway. So if you're not making it happen, someone else is going to make it happen. And a lot of times, people sit and they're looking at everything else that other people have going on, but it's like, God has given you something. That's not for you to worry about what the next person is doing. God has given you something. Now, are you planting it? Are you watering it? Because you seeing all these people do all these things, and you think that is like all happy dandy. One, you don't know what people are going through behind closed doors. You don't know how hard people worked. You don't know what goes into these things. But at the end of the day, excuse me, it's not your business. God has given you something, and you have to step into that something that God has given you, and stop worrying about what other people got going on. Stop worrying about other people's grass. Water your own, because God has given you something. God has literally placed something in all of us, but a lot of people don't step into it because they don't take the time to step into it. So although God has put a lot in my heart and a lot in my mind and a lot of things that I want to do and I'm going to do, he also just had to check me. Like, I gave you all of these things and you're not even doing anything with it. Like, you're walking around like you don't have things to do. You have things to do. I allowed for you to resign from your job and give you this time, because that's what you asked for, to get things done, and you're not getting things done. Literally how he checked me. So it's like, you really, really have to take time to just sit and really, really sit with yourself and sit with God and ask him for clarity and ask him what it is that he wants, where you should be going, who you should be speaking to, and get things done. Get things done. God has literally given us all a gift. He has given us all a purpose, but we have to step into it. We have to. In Jeremiah 29:11, if y'all know the verse, it says, I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you. To prosper you. To prosper you, not to harm you. Great things for the future. Like, this is what God wants for us. But are we stepping into it is the question. So I hope that whoever is listening to this and whoever hears this, I hope that you sit with yourself. I hope that you take time out to be still and ask God, where is it that you should be going? What is it that you should be doing? How is it that you work? What is it that you need in order for you to be successful and do the things that God has placed in your heart? And that's what I felt like sharing with y'all today. Happy Friday. I never drop a video on Fridays, but that's what was put in my heart, and that's what I felt like giving y'all. So I love y'all, and hopefully one of these days I will definitely have the time to edit the videos and do my little Chicago thing and give my feedback on, in a deeper level, like, whatever. But for right now, this is what I have for y'all, and I hope it helps somebody. So God bless y'all. Love y'all. Read that verse that I'm gonna put down there. Bye.